Ukraine downs Russian drones, but some get through due to gaps in air protection. Kyiv, Ukrainian air defenses down 32 of 35 Shahed exploding drones launched by Russia on Tuesday. Officials said in a bombardment that exposed air protection of the country after almost 16 months of war. Russian forces mostly targeted the region around the Ukrainian capital at night. The drone attacks lasted for about 3 hours. The Ukrainian air defense system shot around 24 of them. The attacks were part of a wider bombardment of Ukraine's different regions. Russia also struck the southern Zaporizhia region of Ukraine with ballistic missiles. Previously, a bombardment damaged Ukraine's power supply. Heavy battles are taking place in eastern Ukraine. Border tension between Iran, Afghanistan exposes risk of widening conflict. Washington, recent border tensions between Iran and the Taliban government in Afghanistan have resulted in the death of several military personnel from both sides and exposed deep historic and recent fissures between the two nations. Though both governments have taken measures to quickly de-escalate tensions, the risk of war or wider conflict between the countries remains plausible, according to experts who spoke during a session organized by the Middle East Institute in Washington and attended by Arab News on Friday. Experts say that there are deep-rooted obstacles or sources of tension which may ebb and flow in the future. These sources of tension include border demarcation between the two countries, water that flows from the Helmand River from Afghanistan into Iran, Iran's failure to formally recognize the Taliban government, and the Taliban's anti-Iran stance. Fatemeh Aman, who is an expert on the two countries and a non-resident senior fellow at the May, said that Iran had never cut its ties with the Taliban, and added that Iran had supported the Islamic movement with weapons in an attempt to expand its influence and counter the U.S. presence in the region during the American military occupation of Afghanistan. She added, "The policies of Iran toward Afghanistan have not changed under any government that has come to power in the years since the Iranian Revolution in 1979. Aman argued that Iran, despite the water flow issue, is aware that a possible conflict with Afghanistan would not provide an easy victory. He added that Iran wants Afghanistan to be a connector to the markets in Central Asia and a market for its own products, and that Iran does not want violence and instability in Afghanistan to spill over to its side of the border. Pakistan starts DNA testing to identify victims of Greece boat disaster. Most of the people on board were from Egypt, Syria and Pakistan and paid thousands of dollars to people traffickers like 28-year-old Yashin did. Hundreds more than the 81 confirmed victims are feared to have died. He thought his kid's future would be better, Yashin's brother Muhammad Ayub told Reuters as the two children, 3-year-old son and 1-year-old daughter sat in his lap. "We've no idea where he is. If he's alive or dead." The exact circumstances of the vessel sinking while it was being shadowed by the Greek Coast Guard are still unclear. The boat is thought to have set off from the Libyan city of Tobruk on June 10.